Thank you. I start coughing. Good morning. I'm Commissioner Jill Carmy. We're here for the child support contempt docket. Let me just check in. There's a phone number logged in, 50825. Can you let the court know your name?
Jerome Bentless.
Okay. And then I see Brandon Cheney here. So Ms. Looney, I'll let you take the cases in whichever order you prefer.
Start with number one, since Mr. Bentliff is present. That's the State of Washington versus Jerome Bentliff, 18-3000012-08. We have Mr. Bentliff on 90-day reviews. He was present at his last review on September 13th. He has continued to be paid in full. He is paid in full through the month of November and already has a partial payment for December. So at this time, we are just requesting that his next 90-day review be set for March 13th at 11 a.m.
And I assume, Mr. Angelico, no objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Did you say March 11?
13th.
Oh, 13. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Bentliff, keep up the good work. Any questions for the court?
Nope.
Okay. Well, you are free to log out then.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll take number two next, Your Honor. That is the State of Washington versus Brandon Cheney, 18-3-000-91-08. Mr. Cheney was not present at his last review on November 8th. I do believe that was due to some training, if I remember correctly, Mr. Angelico. He does now currently have a wage withholding in place. He is paid in full for the month of November, and he is paid in full for 2 months consecutively at this time. We would just ask that his next review be set for January 10th.
Mr. Angelico, any input?
No, Your Honor. I realize that he was paid in full, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Cheney, any questions for the court? Otherwise, we'll have you log back in on January 10th.
Nope, that'll do it. Thank you.
All right. And then I just double checked. I don't have anyone else in the waiting room.
I do have information concerning Mr. Stimson.
He is next on the docket, so we'll go ahead and take his case next then, Your Honor. So that's number 3 on our docket, State of Washington versus Joe Stimson. That's 18-3-00700-08. Mr. Stimson was present at his last review on November 8th. He does currently still have his wage withholding in place and has been paying in full. He's paid in full for the month of November and does already have a partial payment for December. He is currently paid in full for 5 consecutive months. And we would just be requesting that his next review be set for January 10th.
Mr. Angelico, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. I had an email from Mr. Stimson yesterday indicating that his employer had what he believed was going to be a training schedule for the court time. So he was letting me know if he was not on the docket, appearing on the docket, that he was at training.
Okay. So it sounds like we can just go ahead and set his next date to January 10th. And I think that takes us to the last one, number 4, McPherson.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. McPherson, with this is the State of Washington versus Christina McPherson. That's 23-00009-08. Ms. McPherson was picked up on her bench warrant on November 27th and did post bail the same date. We did request that the clerk set her for today, as this was her regular review week. She does actually currently have a wage withholding in place. She has been employed. So she has paid in full for the month of November. We were going to request an update regarding her employment status, as it doesn't appear that her weekly payments are posting. Her last payment was on November 30th, so we were not sure if she was still employed.
And Mr.
I didn't know if Mr. Angelico had been able to contact her.
We've not, Your Honor, we don't have any current information, but if the PDN is in place and they do show some payment to this date at the end of November.
The 30th was the last date. She had been having weekly payments. So there's been a couple of weeks without payments. So that's why we are not sure if that wage withholding is still in place. Because we're not sure if she's still currently employed.
Yeah, we
Your
have not been able to reach her, Your Honor. We have a telephone number that I think was an older number. And we had an email address that we emailed to, but did not receive a response from if it's still a good email for her.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I did neglect to state that the bail that she did make payment for would count for December. So she is actually paid for December as well at this time. Typically, we would be asking for a bench warrant, but I am willing to give Ms. McPherson the benefit of the doubt today, and just ask that her next review be set for January 10th. If she does not appear at that hearing, we will be requesting a bench warrant at that time.
Mr. Angelico, any input on that?
And I'll try to see if we have any other method to get a hold of her. Where was the wage withholding from?
I don't have that information off the top of my head, but I can check on that and email you, Mr. Angelico.
If you could, that may give us some avenue to try to contact her.
And Your Honor, I apologize. I did also neglect to request that the court would order a bench or issue a bench order for forfeiting bail for Ms. McPherson. I apologize.
Yes, absolutely. I see the last one of those was done August 8th. I guess I am concerned that she was picked up on a warrant and failed to appear here today, but I do note that she has the wage withholding in place that is at least active through November 30th. We're here just a couple weeks later, and her bail does count for December. So we'll note the FTA today. We will issue the order forfeiting bail. And I believe, Ms. Looney, your office sends that over.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. We can
Okay.
send that over.
Okay,
And I think the issue with the appearance, Your Honor, is somewhat the fact that if they bail out, they're not given any date. I
Yeah,
think that's why it was
was-
set over so that we could try to get a hold of her to make sure that she knew what date it was on, but they're just not given any type of a date to appear. They
Well,
just-
Your Honor,
and I
if
just,
I,
well, I'm looking at the bench warrant where the arresting officer signs, and it does tell her that she has to appear at 11 a.m. on the first Wednesday following release. That's
Okay,
a
so it
legal
does say
holiday.
first Wednesday.
Yeah,
it
which
does. And Your Honor, the ongoing order for contempt also states what week they should regularly appear. So if they did miss the first week after their release, she should be appearing today. This is her regular review week.
yeah, I understand. I, Mr. Angelico, I understand your argument. I too was looking at the at least the bench warrant to see what it might say, because I do believe they are given that when they are taken in, but neither here nor there, neither here nor there. I'm not going to issue a warrant today, but I will sign the order forfeiting bail. I'll just note the FTA, and then we'll set a regular review for 110 and hope that she makes contact with her attorney before then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That's everything from the state.
Okay, Mr. Angelico, anything from you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Have a great day. Thank you both.